Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the New American Media Podcast. This is our final episode of the season. And as you can see behind me, it is fall going into wintertime. It is the holidays. And I have been very thankful this year for a lot of great things. We were able to get rezoning approval on my big real estate development project. I've also been able to close well over 20 plus million in SBA loans for my borrowers and given them access to capital to be entrepreneurs themselves. That in and of itself is a joy. We are expecting our third daughter. We announced earlier this summer that we were having a third baby girl. My wife is due in February. Shout out to my wife, Mona. We're super excited. The girls, my two daughters, Aria and Dia, are both really excited as well. We're just adding a new addition to the Gala household. It's going to be great. So, 2022 has been a very eventful year. A lot of the cool things that have happened in pop culture since I last spoke have included Elon Musk buying Twitter, Kanye going full Kanye, and a lot of talks about a recession. The best place to start is with Elon and Twitter. He put in a contract to buy Twitter for, I think, $44 billion. And that was at the height of the market. Twitter, honestly, is probably only worth 10 to 15 billion. He probably overpaid 4 to 5 times more than it was worth. I was at the All In Summit, another great podcast. If you guys listen, the All In podcast, they had a huge summit, and Elon came and spoke on that at the summit and talked about how he would like to turn Twitter into what the Chinese use as WeChat. So anyone who's ever been to China has seen WeChat. WeChat can basically it's a super app. It has little mini apps inside of it. And I think that in the future is Elon's plan for Twitter to include payments, to integrate Tesla Taxi, Tesla app into Twitter, to have a chat app similar to WhatsApp integrated into Twitter, and a payment system like PayPal, Venmo integrated into Twitter. And I think all of those will provide value to where we would see Twitter having an enterprise value close to $100 billion in the next 5 to 7 years. I wouldn't bet against the guy. I think he's really smart. He's done a great job. And like myself, he is a first generation new American, and he is the first African American to own a car company and a social media platform. So, big fan of Elon's. Keep up what you're doing, my friend. Very excited to see things in the future for both Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, and his many other companies, Starlink, Neuralink. I think it goes on and on. My loser for 2022 has to be someone no other than Kanye West. So, Kanye, big fan. I remember watching him 2003 or 4. I can't remember. Last day of classes at Duke University, Duke campus. He performed Through the Wire, and a couple other songs. Jesus Walks, all from the College Dropout album. Been a huge fan. I think the man is a genius, but his embracement of anti Semitism and the radical right has basically taken him out of mainstream media and taken him out of the main discourse of society. And what he's done is very damaging and hurtful to a lot of people in this country, especially Jewish people and other people of color. So, Kanye, man, get back on the meds or just stop talking, bro. I would stop talking if I were you because you're losing everything. My philosophy on this is also based on what I call the Kardashian curse. I think anyone that dates or marries a Kardashian will end up doomed and failed for the rest of their life. So be aware, stay away from that family. I think those people are extremely difficult and probably not good for any man's health. We started January 2022 with a bang. We had a ton of stimmy checks. A lot of money was sloshing around. I think a house had 30, 40 offers as soon as it went on the market. The market's been so hot. Fast forward now, we're here in November 2022. The Fed, Jerome, my main man Jerome, has raised interest rates all the way up to where prime is at 7%. A 30-year fixed rate mortgage this past week was like a little over 7%. Completely cooled the market. We are now in what's called a technical recession, probably going into a larger recession. Facebook, Amazon, a ton of other technology companies have announced layoffs. Even Google and Apple have both started hiring freezes. I am still bullish overall on the US economy because, as is the thesis of this podcast, I believe that the best, brightest, smartest, hardworking people make the effort to come to the United States as first generation immigrant entrepreneurs. They are some of the hardest working people in this country, and they contribute a huge amount to the GDP of this country, the innovation, the technology, the hard work, the hustle, the grind, and a lot of that we will continue to see even during this recession as more and more immigrants, new Americans come to the United States and create new companies, create more jobs. So, my personal philosophy here is if we could get the Ukraine situation under control with China still doing COVID lockdowns, guys, that was so 2020. We're about to go into 2023. You're still doing COVID lockdowns? Come on, G. What are you doing, buddy? But I think the Chinese people are finally rebelling against it. I believe the US now has firm control economically as a powerhouse. I think as we bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States from overseas, we're not really going to see but a shallow recession in Q1 and Q2 and possibly Q3 of 2023. But I expect by Q4 of 23 and Q1 of 24 for us to be out of this recession. The main thing I think that will help us to quickly get out of the recession is my man Jerome Powell. You got to turn the spigot back on. I think the country needs quantitative easing and low interest rates because we are an advanced economy that works with debt and debt as a financial instrument. And financial services are such a huge part of the GDP of this country that interest rates into perpetuity need to stay low. Another reason interest rates have to stay low is because as government bonds mature if they come in at a higher interest rate, our debt to GDP is so high that a lot of our budget will be used to pay for interest on the national debt. And as that occurs, you have less spending on social programs, on Medicare, Social Security, and on defense spending, which is the biggest, I think, welfare system in the United States is defense spending, is basically welfare for defense contractors. So we have to be in a permanent state of low interest rates. But yeah, 2022 has been an amazing year. We've had some great guests on the podcast. Starting the season off with a bang was my friend and power attorney, Diana. We had Heok on, Ricky, my guy Kavi in LA, Ricky in Austin, Anastasia also in Miami, Greg, who was in LA, Crute out of Greenville, South Carolina, commercial real estate developer, extraordinaire entrepreneur, and then one of my good friends, attorney, immigration attorney Shang Shin down in Houston, Texas. What he does is really cool, really eventful. That was an awesome episode. I hope you guys enjoyed all the episodes for season 2. Season 3 is going to be a bang. You know, like they say, it will be huge. I've got a new production company starting season 3. They're going to be doing some really cool stuff. We've got some great guests in store for all of you. And we've got some cool ideas for the show that we're going to run through. See what you guys like. Let us know whether it's good, whether it's not, and we can continue to keep doing them. One of the greatest things that we want to do for season 3 is to give new Americans access to tier 1 investment opportunities and real estate development projects, technology companies, and other things that many first and second generation new Americans don't have access to. That's being accredited investors, non accredited investors, and just investing in general. How it works, what are the steps to do it, how to calculate ROI, IRR, cash on cash return. These are things that a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners that are new Americans, they're so busy working in their own businesses and just saving money, getting by, that they never take their money and have their money work for them. They're working for money and not having it work for them. So our goal is to help those first and second generation new Americans gain access to amazing investment opportunities, whether it's through our projects, whether it's through other startups and funds led by new Americans, or just other companies. For example, this past year, I met a Canadian citizen, and he had immigrated from India to Canada and was doing venture capital work out of Toronto. And he put me on to a robotics company started by two immigrants from Hong Kong who had come over to Canada, studied at the University of Waterloo, and had started a robotics company. I got to talk to the CEO, got to really understand the company and how they were using robotics in manufacturing to increase ROI of these manufacturing companies. It's called RAS, Robotics as a Service. How it works is the company actually doesn't buy the robots. They just basically rent the robot for per hour of work. But these robots don't take breaks, they don't need to go to sleep, and they can continuously work 24 hours a day. So it was really cool understanding the financial model. And these are things that most first and second generation immigrants and new Americans don't have access to. One of the other big things is our development pipeline in real estate projects here in Research Triangle Park. We will be talking about those, how you guys, as listeners, investors, and others, will have access to invest in these projects where we are creating these amazing communities all across the Triangle, Charlotte, and the southeastern United States. We have currently over $100 million worth of projects in the pipeline today, and I am so excited to talk to you guys about these opportunities and show you the massive returns that you're able to get. Because our goal here is, we know as a new American, you guys work really, really hard to save every single penny. And our goal is to have your money work for you instead of you working for your money. I know this is a new concept for most first and second generation immigrants. Here at New American Media, want to make sure that we guide you and we help you in this investing process, whether it's with us or with anyone else, in understanding how to get your ROI, your cash on cash returns for equity investing. We are actively raising for our most recent project here in Cary, North Carolina. Currently, we have about 800,000 left in the capital stack of the $4 million raise. If any of you are interested, please reach out to me on any of my social media accounts, or go to our website, galainvestments.io, and reach out to me through the website. We'd love to set up a call, talk to you, show you the project. We believe that it is a really great project and an asset. It is only 1.5 miles from the new Apple East Coast headquarters. So be on the lookout for that, along with our multiple projects coming down the pipeline. And look forward to getting on a Zoom with each and every one of you to discuss it. Thanks, everybody. I want to also wish all of you a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Diwali, Happy Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah. I think Happy, what is it, Eid Mubarak. I don't know if I'm missing one, but if I am, you guys will let me know. It's been a great year. Next year is even better. As many of you know, I went to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Our most popular alumnus is Michael Jordan. Shout out to Jordan Brand, number 23. So next year being 2023, it is Jordan year, everybody. So we're going to close this one out by letting everybody know that Michael Jordan, as an athlete, as an entrepreneur, today in business, and an owner of an NBA team, has done everything to the fullest, worked his hardest, and he was cut from his high school basketball team his freshman year. And now he has been the greatest player in the history of sports, an icon, and probably one of the most famous people today in the history of the world. So next year is 2023. His jersey number was 23. So it is Jordan year. So I'll leave you guys with this: work hard, play hard, and like Nike says, just do it. Don't worry about perfection. Just do it, baby. Thank you, everybody. See you guys in season 3. Let's go.